Okay, as requested, we're going to talk about friends with benefits. Now, friends with benefits, I think that is the worst possible relationship that you probably could ever decide that you ever want to engage yourself in. It's the most confusing relationship. It's the most shittiest of all relationships that you possibly could have. The reason why I say that is because there is the potential there to really mess up a perfectly good friendship. Just in the name of that it's a bit confusing, and that's why there's so much confusion in that type of relationship, because most people know their role. But imagine you saying, well, I'm sexually attracted to you as a friend. If that doesn't say, what the hell? If that doesn't make you react that way, then you had to have been donkey kicked as a child down a flight of the stairs with a donkey that had a freaking horn on the bottom of his feet. I'm saying that because every other relationship has a role and probably has a ceiling. You see, like for instance, if you have a fuck buddy, you know, okay, fuck buddy, your job is to fuck and that's it. Nothing else. If you got a little junglist with your buck somewhere, then you know, okay, you hit and you run for your life. But the problem with a friend with benefits is there's no ceiling built in. Like, you could be on the Freinds today and you could be on the register tomorrow if somebody decides that they want to give you this little promotion and they want more. The challenge with that is, though, is that has to be a mutual feeling, because sometimes when you have a friend with benefits, one of the friends is the friend that actually catches feelings. So imagine you work on a job and you just smash the boss, and the boss has the potential to give you a raise but won't. You would be the most pissed off employee that there can possibly be. But however, you don't want to mess up your little working relationship, and it's the exact same thing with a friend with benefits, because you could be the most committed person, the most kindest person, the most nicest person, the most loving person, but not because you decide to fall in love means that the other person is gonna also fall in love. To them, you may be likable. They like you a lot. They really like you. You are the sweetest person imaginable. You know, they can't see themselves not having you in their life. And to you, you may love them or fall in love. But not because you fall in love, that means that they're supposed to fall out of like into love. It doesn't always happen that way. And when it doesn't happen that way, then that is when that relationship becomes extremely complicated. That is because it's difficult to hurt the feelings of somebody that you really like. Like somebody who has been good to you, kind to you, all of this to you, it hurts you just as much that you're not in a position, or that you don't have the same feelings to reciprocate to them. And then on the other hand, some of you just may be too much of a punk, yeah, too shitty, you don't want to go through the whole process of going and finding somebody else, and you thinking now you can just hang on to this person until you get your shit sorted out, or find somebody who you're really interested in, which is very fucked up. I'm sorry, pardon my English. Or the flip side, or the flip side to that is some of you. On the other hand, you just, continually make excuses for yourself, or you probably have some kind of commitment phobia, you're not just ready yet, you're not this yet. If you really were really into that person in that kind of way, then you would make that kind of commitment. But the fact that you dragging your feet, like they pulling your ass through the sand, trying to get you to warm up, and that, and the person has good intentions. It makes it more difficult and more difficult and more difficult. It turns into quicksand. The more they give, the more difficult it is for you to come out. Because by doing something very normal and saying, listen, I like you, but I don't really love you like that, all of a sudden becomes a fucked up thing to say to somebody who actually is being very loving and kind to you and does not deserve to be rejected. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is why that relationship is the most complicated, difficult one. Some people, they acquiesce to that particular feeling. and they're not strong enough to say, well, listen, you know what, I really love you, I care about you, I think that I don't think I want to move in this particular direction. And by them saying that, okay, now all of a sudden you hurt me, friend. You understand? But at the end of the day, you liberate them so that they could be able to find somebody who actually is going to be able to love them and fall in love with them and have the kind of relationship with them that they really need, as opposed to you trying, as opposed to being in a relationship or in a mediocre relationship with you when you really ain't into them like that. And some of you people need to be honest. Some of you really like how somebody treats you more than how much you really love them. It's not about falling in love with them. You can't see yourself in some of the romantic situations. Why? Because if it ain't there, it just ain't there. Now, I tell you what you can do. You could be even more of a wuss. You know, you don't want to hurt them. You don't want them to feel bad. So you decide, you know what, okay, let's get married. Or let's get in a relationship. The relationship, how long we can be in a relationship? Let's get married. Now, you have a whole heap of people who are married to people that they are not in love with. And their eyes never close. It's like they're still searching, still looking somehow. And they don't have the strength. And not only them not having the strength, the person they're in a relationship with don't really have the understanding to understand that okay, you forcing this person in a particular direction, and the only reason they go in that direction is because they don't want to hurt you. And they end up hurting you in the long run. And you end up losing a friend. A friend is an awesome friend when you keep it as a friend. When you decide that you're going to be your friends with benefit, and it's not that it can't work. It can work once, no, it can't work. Listen, I tried. The only way that works is if nobody in that whole relationship catches feelings, which is absolutely, I don't know. That stuff don't happen in real life. That's the friend who can run up on you when you out on a regular date, or when you meet somebody or you talk to somebody and they be like, so, what's going on here? Who this person is? Well, your friend can do that. Save yourself the drama. Make a choice. Either you want a relationship with that person or you want to be friends with them. But don't have a sexual relationship with your friend in hopes that it's going to become more of it. You accept it for what it is. Or you decide that you're going to be their fuck buddy or something. But friends with benefits? No. Nothing's a strange, nothing's the same. And really I just want my friend back.